hope you're now a little bit more up to speed on regulation and how it's not all bad news, and it does create some form of window of opportunity. Next up, we have Anton from 1inch, who's going to be talking to us about mastering a limit order protocol. Thanks a lot. And again, I just want to remind you, Slido, and do prepare, I will ask you the audience questions after you're done with your presentation.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me? Okay. That's fine. Hi, everyone. I'm here to tell you about about 1inch limit order protocol. One second. Oh, okay. So I will describe you what exactly is this protocol and what it allows, because it allows much more than is currently implemented on any dApp. So first of all, our main priorities when we built it were MIT license, which allows developers to do with it whatever they want. It's have no limitations. We do not have any protocol fees, and ultimate gas efficiency was our main priority. We released already 3 versions and preparing to release next version, and each time we're winning like tens of percentages of gas efficiency. I don't know how we do this, but it is already much more efficient than any other protocol. But with each new release, we push it forward somehow. By the way, I'm writing smart contracts at 1inch. Okay. So, and yeah, for sure, this limit order protocol, it incorporates unique features. So I'll tell about these features on next slide. So yeah, we have pre and post interactions. So you can configure your order in that way that it will execute arbitrary actions before it will be filled and after it will be filled. Also, those one who is filling the orders, they can make kind of flash swap. They can get maker assets, can get taker interaction call, do whatever they want with these assets, and then transfer from taker would happen. And this feature also allows reentrancy. So if you want to fill 5 orders, you could start filling them in a reentrant call, so you would get all assets from all these 5 orders, and then you can fill them somehow with any protocols or fill them mutually on each other, and then when you finish your execution, transfers to makers would happen from your wallet. That's how 1inch Fusion is working. It's mutually filling orders to each other, and the rest of the amounts is swapped on DEXs. So there is also possibility to program custom logic for transfers. So it's not only transfers tokens from maker to taker and then from taker to maker, but instead of token with transfer from, you could deploy custom plugin. We call them proxies, but now we're switching to plugin name. And yeah, you can write some smart contract. You can use its address as a token address in limit order protocol, and limit order protocol would call transfer from method with possibility to add extra data. And you can write plugins for using NFTs, for using any other token standards, for batch transfers. So potentially you could make orders which swaps 5 tokens for 3 different tokens. So arbitrary logic is possible here. For sure, some examples like ERC-721, ERC-1155, they are already implemented. They are in the repo. And next feature is dynamic prices. So your order could not specify exact price. You could write any arbitrary smart contract and provide static method, view method, and when order will be filled, prices for this order, they will be extracted from this method. Using this method, you, for example, can make Dutch auction, or maybe you can use prices from oracles. You can make stop loss order or any other thing. I have a separate slide for this. So predicate, it's thing when someone is trying to fill your order, there is a possibility for order to have predicate, where limit order protocol would make a static call and check if it's possible currently to fill this order or not. And for sure, we support smart contract signatures. That's pretty easy, but some people don't know about this. So you can have smart contract and still be a maker in limit order protocol. You will have not a real signature, because digital signature is usually something involving your private key. But this thing allows smart contracts to have digital signatures. It works differently. It works like limit order protocol would make a call is valid signature on your maker address, and if it's returning special magic value, this means that signature is valid. So smart contracts are themselves responsible for checking if their signature is correct or not. And I have a number of potential applications which are currently not implemented. So you could have Dutch auctions. You could implement this dynamic getter, dynamic price, and you can have Dutch auction. You can sell your NFT or something with price following some curve which you could define somehow in smart contract, or you can make constructor for anyone to make their own auctions. Someone could implement stop loss orders. They could check with predicate that price on Oracle is at some threshold, and this means that they can be filled or can't be filled. It's also possible to have trailing stop loss orders, range orders. Just imagine you could place your order to be fully sold in some range. For example, you're gonna sell, I don't know, wrap it either from 2,000 to 3,000. You could build some piece of smart contract which with this limit order protocol would work as a range order. So you would probably need here smart contract signatures and dynamic prices. Also, arbitrary trading strategies could be implemented. So it's just a matter of imagination. And for example, with pre and post interactions, it's possible to wrap and unwrap and your liquidity with kind of our compound wrappers. For example, this could be stake it either or fly it or something else. And one more thing is that it's possible to create limit order which would behave as liquidator inside of it. So it's possible to encapsulate liquidations of different money markets, and this would make these liquidations more accessible. I mean, such orders would make liquidation much easier for anyone else. You don't, if you would try to liquidate someone, you wouldn't need to write special software for Compound, or any other money market, but you could just fill this custom-made limit order. Or I feel that there is like infinite number of possibilities here to implement. So we as developers, we implemented features like technical features, but product features, they are almost infinite. So people came up to any other crazy thing. I discussed with one guy, so they tried to build borrowing for NFTs. They are providing liquidity. You could use your NFT as collateral and you could borrow, and they provided buyback and liquidation feature by limit order protocol. It was much more convenient for them to use it because it just reduced their code base significantly. And that's it. It's a pretty short presentation. I had 15 minutes, so now we have 5 minutes if you have any questions.
There is one question. You guys feel free to ask more. The first question is, can you elaborate a bit about how one can build a stop loss? What are the main challenges to have a stop loss on DEX/aggregators?
Yeah, for example, if we would try to implement stop loss on this limit order protocol, I see that we can just use a predicate feature, technical feature. So it's kind of, we need to build a piece of software, front-end, DApp, decentralized application, which will create orders, which will have special feature called predicate. And whenever someone will try to fill this order, this predicate will be executed, and limit order protocol will understand if it's possible for now to fill it or not. And for example, inside this predicate, we should use oracles. For example, we could make a limit order, which is, for example, we have price of either, I don't know current price, it's probably 2,000. Okay, and we are afraid that it will fall below 180 and 1,800. Okay, and we can make an order which will sell it 1,750, but only when price on Oracle is below 1,800. And this would allow to have permissionless and decentralized stop loss limit order. Because now if you are placing limit order on centralized exchange, it could not work sometimes. It depends. If price moving too fast, it could not work. Same thing happens here. If price moving too fast, it's probably no one will fill you. But now here, if you have this in DeFi, you are not depending from single entity like Binance or Coinbase or any other centralized exchange. It's a matter of arbitrage. So anyone is capable to fill you, and you could probably have a better guarantee that nothing will be broken and it will work.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, can you tell us a bit about the entities who execute orders on 1inch Fusion? Who are they, and can they front run our trades?
Yeah, how Fusion works, basically it's limit orders where price is usually like minimal possible price for the order. But we call them private orders. This means that there is only one address in the Ethereum network who can fill them. And this address belongs to special smart contract. We can call them Fusion, but technically it's called settlement or 1inch limit order settlement or something like that. And this smart contract also have checks who can use it. And currently, only few addresses can do this. We call them resolvers. These resolvers can fill those orders, but these smart contracts also have Dutch auction. So each Fusion order is getting worse with each second for users, but it's improving its price for counterparties, for these resolvers, for any takers. And what happens here that price is improving for these resolvers, and they can potentially try to wait to get better price, but they compete with each other. You can wait, but any other resolver could pick up these orders and fill it. So competition among resolvers make them fill orders with smaller profits, smaller arbitrage profits, and better rates for users. And moreover, they are also incentivized to be, if they want to proceed with filling those orders, they need to be in top list by delegations. That's why they compete for user delegations. And they can express their competition with farms. They have farms. They give away to users who delegate tokens to them. And this competition allows users to play with APY. So what I see that some users, they do redelegation to rebalance, to like get higher APY. And yeah, that's how it works. This makes all those orders like Dutch auction for every user. And from what we saw, but we're also preparing analysis for this, that most of the users are getting much more better rates than they would have if they would just execute the transaction on their own. Because if you execute transaction on your own, just basically you pay for your gas. But if someone like Resolver filling multiple orders, you could share these transaction fees among other parties. If you are selling either, someone is buying either, this automatically makes you share your fees on each other. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. And the last question I'll ask is, do you know examples of projects that are already built or are building this type of stop loss?
I'm not sure that there are big projects. Probably there are some not big ones. Yeah, I'm like curious why no one built it and it's not popular yet, because it's easy. And there are protocols which allows you to do this. For sure, 1inch can't have all these functionalities because that's a lot. And that's why we built this protocol to be MIT licensed, and anyone can use it or copy and use it or modify and use it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot. And yeah, please give a round of applause.